of those claims are true. Joining me now, Omarosa Manigault Newman, former senior advisor to President Trump and author of the #1 New York Times bestseller, Unhinged, an insider's account of the Trump White House. Omarosa, I'm likely to guess that the title of your book might be used here to describe what's going on with Donald Trump. Good night. What do you make of it?
You know, he is truly unhinged. I've talked to sources in the West Wing, and everyone has been told to steer clear of Donald Trump because he is in such a foul mood. I'm very concerned, however, that when Donald gets in this way and he doesn't have an outlet, he can be quite destructive. And I think the last time we talked, I talked about Donald wanting to upstage Biden, and yet here we are. But I have also heard that he has been presented with a plan to launch the Trump News Network, as well as Trump Book, his own social media platform. And so they've been trying to give him these projects to kind of keep him busy and distract him from the peril that he's in.
Wow, is all I have to say to that reporting that you have there. This same report that I was citing earlier, it also details how no one on the White House staff has any fight left in them. I mean, it's gone. What are you hearing about the mood there these final days?
Yeah, they're certainly demoralized. I've done a couple of references for these really young kids who started as interns under us during the campaign, and now they're trying to go to grad school because they just can't find a job. In fact, one of them told me he's going back home to New York City, and he's probably going to Uber while he tries to get into grad school.
What?
So
you're
talking
somebody who worked in the White House, so they're not able to get jobs. Some of them going to grad school. Nothing wrong with that. That's always a good investment.
Nothing wrong with that.
But really, they're having trouble getting jobs because they were associated with this administration?
Yeah, right now, Donald Trump has made everyone in that White House, in that administration, radioactive. No one wants to touch them. And so, yes, he's going to Uber until he finds something else, but no one has been biting. He's been putting in resumes for about 3.5 months and can't find anything.
Omarosa, as more time passes before the Senate takes up the prospect of the second impeachment trial, do you think that helps or hurts the prospect of him being convicted this time, as senators have more time to reflect, to look at his actions, to see what he might do in the next 4 days?
Yeah, time is not on Donald's side. You know, there is no hardcore deadline for them to finish this trial. So there is ample enough time for evidence to be collected and reviewed and people to consider the extreme consequences of Donald Trump's actions. And I actually believe that this Senate will convict Donald Trump because they know that the only way to keep him from running the Republican Party for the next decade is to convict him so that he can't run again. And certainly in my own state of Florida with Rick Scott and Rubio, they want to run in 2020. And 24, and they're not going to be able to primary with Donald. He's already defeated Rubio, and so they know this is their only chance. And I will say this, if Donald Trump runs again, Donald Trump will win the Republican primary. This is their only chance of ever running for president by getting Donald Trump out.
What if you put a different first name to a Trump that is running potentially in a primary against Marco Rubio? I'm sure you saw the Vanity Fair article that talks about Ivanka, who thinks that she's going to ride this insurrection and be president one day. I don't know what to even say to that, but what do you think the prospects are of her at least taking very seriously? I understand Steve Bannon may have a thing or two to say about this, pursuing a life in politics.
Let me just say this. I met Ivanka when she was very young. It's been 17 years since I first met them, and I know her very, very well. My advice to Miss Ivanka Trump is you don't want any parts of this Florida politics. She does not have what it takes to go through the grinder of Florida politics. And I've served with her in the White House. So to be fair, I've had a chance to evaluate her work in political arena, not just in the Apprentice boardroom. I can tell you that both in the Apprentice boardroom and in the White House, that she is not equipped for a political career. She does not have what it takes. But moreover, it will be very difficult for her to run from prison. And I certainly know that she is facing just as much legal peril as her father.
Interesting. May I ask you about the Washington Post report you may have seen relative to Ivanka and her husband Jared, that U.S. taxpayers have been paying $3,000 a month to rent the use of a toilet for both Ivanka and Jared and their family's Secret Service detail after they were reportedly instructed not to use any of the 6 bathrooms inside the family home. Now, I will say the U.S. Secret Service is denying this report. They tell NBC News that they were not denied access and they do not request access to facilities at private residences. But this report, what do you make of this? Does it seem possible, given the Ivanka and Jared, at least the tenor of the report?
The moment I read this story, I texted a friend of mine, Secret Service. Remember, I've served in the White House twice, 20 years of being associated with Secret Service members and having great relationships with these folks. First of all, the report of their behavior is appalling. But this story is true. I mean, let me just tell you, Secret Service members are so ticked off about this because they were not just barring them from the house, but they were kind of, mean about it and acting as if the Secret Service were just the help, and they didn't want the help going to utilize their facilities, and that's just shameful.
The help charged with protecting their lives. Okay. Omarosa, always glad to see you, my friend. Come see me again soon. Thank you.
See you.
Despite the unthinkable